Mom said Santa forgot us again. The boy said it quietly, like he was confessing a secret he'd already forgiven the world for. Snow drifted sideways across the cracked sidewalk, settling on the bench at the bus stop where he sat swinging his thin legs. His sneakers had holes in the toes, and his jacket was 2 winters too small, the zipper stuck halfway up. He hugged a paper grocery bag to his chest like it might keep him warm. The man standing a few feet away heard him anyway. The billionaire hadn't planned to be there. His driver was late, traffic was backed up, and for the first time in years, he was alone in public without an entourage or a meeting to rush into. He wore a tailored wool coat that probably cost more than the boy's entire neighborhood. In his gloved hand was a phone vibrating non-stop with messages he wasn't answering. "Forgot you?" the man asked before he could stop himself. The boy looked up, startled, then nodded. His face was pale, eyes too old for his age. "It's okay," he said quickly, like he didn't want pity. "He's probably busy." The man swallowed. He didn't believe in Santa, not anymore, but he believed in disappointment. He knew it intimately. "How old are you?" he asked. 8, almost 9. In March. The boy smiled a little, proud of that. "My mom says birthdays still count even if Christmas doesn't." The bus stop smelled faintly of wet concrete and cheap coffee from somewhere down the block. Cars rushed by, splashing slush. The man realized he'd been standing there far longer than necessary. "What's in the bag?" he asked. The boy hesitated, then peeked inside and pulled out a dented can of soup and a loaf of bread. "Dinner," he said. "Mom's working late. She said I should wait for the bus instead of walking because it's cold." The man's chest tightened. He thought of the catered dinner waiting in his penthouse, untouched. He thought of the empty mansion decorated with lights no one would see. "Where's your dad?" The question slipped out, clumsy and immediate. The boy's smile faded but didn't disappear. "He left. Mom says sometimes people leave because they're broken, not because you are." That answer hit harder than any headline ever had. The bus was late. 5 minutes turned into 10. Snow thickened, clinging to eyelashes and coats. The man shrugged off his gloves and offered them to the boy. "I'm okay," the boy said automatically. "I know," the man replied. "But humor me." The boy took them, hands shaking slightly, and whispered thank you. "My name's Daniel," the man said, surprising himself by offering it. No last name. For once, he didn't want the weight of it. "I'm Noah." They sat in silence for a moment. Then Noah spoke again, softer. "Mom cried last night. She thought I was asleep. I think Santa forgot her too." Daniel closed his eyes. Images flashed through his mind. His own childhood bedroom, massive and empty. Christmas mornings with piles of gifts and no one to share them with. Parents too busy fighting to notice he was there. "What would you have asked Santa for?" Daniel asked. Noah shrugged. "A bike, but mostly, for Mom to not be tired anymore." Daniel felt something crack open inside him. The bus finally arrived, hissing as it stopped. Noah stood, clutching the bag and the gloves. "This is my bus," he said. "Thanks for talking to me." Daniel didn't want him to go. The feeling startled him. "Wait," he said. Can I give you something?" Noah frowned, cautious. "Mom says not to take stuff from strangers." "That's a good rule," Daniel said quickly. "How about, I buy you dinner? Somewhere warm. You can call your mom and ask." Noah hesitated, then pulled out an old phone with a cracked screen. He typed with numb fingers. A moment later, he looked up. She said okay, but just 1 hour. They walked to a small diner nearby, its windows fogged with warmth. Inside, the smell of frying onions and coffee wrapped around them. Noah's shoulders relaxed as he slid into a booth. He ate like someone who hadn't eaten enough in a long time, apologizing between bites. Daniel watched, his heart aching. "What does your mom do?" he asked. "She cleans offices. At night, sometimes during the day too if someone's sick." Noah wiped his mouth. "She says she'll go back to school someday." Daniel nodded. He knew what someday usually meant. When the food was gone, Daniel paid the bill and then some. Outside, the snow had slowed. Christmas lights blinked in nearby windows. "I have a question," Daniel said, crouching to Noah's level. "If Santa didn't forget, what would it mean?" Noah thought hard. "I guess it would mean someone remembered us." That night, Daniel didn't go home. He went to his office and made calls. He pulled strings he'd never bothered to touch for anyone else. He didn't sleep. The next morning, Noah woke to a knock on their apartment door. His mom opened it cautiously, still in her robe. In the hallway stood boxes, food, warm coats, a brand new bike leaning against the wall, and a note. It didn't say Santa. It said, "Someone remembered." Noah's mom cried openly this time, pulling him into her arms. Noah felt something bloom in his chest he didn't have a word for yet. Across the city, Daniel sat alone in his penthouse, watching snow fall through floor-to-ceiling windows. For the first time in years, the silence didn't feel so loud. Christmas came and went, but it didn't end there. Daniel helped Noah's mom find a better job. He quietly paid for classes she'd only dreamed of. He showed up to Noah's birthday in March with a cake and stayed long enough to sing. Challenges didn't disappear overnight. Bills still came. Fear still whispered. But now, there was proof that forgetting wasn't permanent. Years later, Noah would stand at a different bus stop, older, taller, wearing a coat that fit. He would remember the man who stopped and listened when the world rushed past. And Daniel, no longer lonely, would finally understand that sometimes the greatest gift isn't what you give, but the moment you choose to see someone, and refuse to look away.